Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Gaming News Weekly Live. It's been a firm week in gaming. It's been a crazy week in gaming. A whole lot of things have been going on. Nintendo's going crazy on the internet. Sony dropping dropping studios left and right, killing developers. They're terrorizing the gaming industry. EA, same way. They're washing their hands with IPs. And they're like, bro, we gotta focus on what we gotta focus on. It's gonna be a great week in gaming. It's gonna be a great gaming news week. So make sure that like button, subscribe. I got my Avion water with me, so you know I'm ready to talk. Mike Zone, Camper Zone, we're ready. And we gotta start off with the first piece of news, which is like I think like the most casual piece of news I got. And it's people are upset that Pentiment is not gonna be 120 frames per second on Xbox when it comes to PlayStation. And I'm like, people cared? Oh my gosh, bro. This is some of the fake. I swear. The Xbox fandom on the fucking Twitterverse is not the same people that actually play games. There can't be the same people. Because there's no way. Pentiment came out 2 years ago. That motherfucker wasn't 120 frames when it came in. I don't even think it was 60 frames when it came out. I couldn't tell you. It was Paper Man walking around. It was a good little like side scrolling RPG. The fuck cares if it was 120 frames or not? I don't think anybody fucking did. 90% of them probably didn't even play the goddamn game. And they're crying about frame rates now. All of a sudden, because it's going to PlayStation. And they are marketing the game a lot better than they did for Xbox. Why? Because they didn't even get to market the game for Xbox. Pentiment just came out of fucking nowhere from Obsidian. That's what we got. Remember, Xbox had no games. We got Grounded, we got Pentiment, we got what else did we did get that year? We got a lot of like small games, like Illuminati, and there was something else we got that year in gaming for Xbox, and the fucking gaming media was laughing at the Xbox platform. Now Pentiment is getting a marketing deal, bro. They got little trailers out. They're showing what the fuck they're gonna give to PlayStation, and the Xbox fans are mad. What the fuck? Because you don't get 120 frames, they're gonna give it to PlayStation. Who the fuck cares? They market in the game so they can fucking sell it. Xbox is gonna get 120 frames per second eventually. I don't fucking care. You're not gonna play the game anyway. At least the fans that they are going to capture on PlayStation is actually going to play the fucking game. They're going to buy the game. They're going to play the game. They're going to enjoy the fucking game. Xbox niggas that could have played the game 2 years ago, now they want to cry about the game on the internet. Because some PlayStation niggas are laughing like, haha, look, we got 120 frames. Xbox don't. We don't give a fuck, bro. We don't give a fuck. Obsidian made that game out of scraps, nigga. Out of fucking leftovers. And they dropped that motherfucker on Xbox. The Xbox fan, they were crying that they didn't get no AAA games that year. They was getting laughed at by gaming media. No games on Xbox. Now you want to cry 120 frames and it's because of a bug on Xbox. I don't think it's because of a bug. I just think they didn't work on that motherfucker on Xbox. Why would they? Why would they? Most of the niggas complaining didn't play the game, like I said. Most of them didn't play the fucking game. So now that they're marketing the game to sell their game, they're using every buzzword on the internet. 120 frames per second, 4K this. Yeah, that's how you sell games to people that don't know shit. And if it works, they make enough money. Guess what? They get to make more games for Xbox. So why the fuck are they complaining about this? And if it is because of a bug, they could have figured out that bug 2 years ago, a year ago. Why the fuck did they? Because it wasn't a priority for them until they found an outlet that they can be like, okay, we're going to try to make some money over here. Let's do everything we can. Because Pentiment was literally just a leftover game. It was a good game. It was a fun game, but it wasn't a big game that a lot of people was going to look at anyway. But now, since it's a big deal for PlayStation, Xbox niggas want to feel left out. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You had 2 years to be left out on that game. You had 2 years to ask for fucking 120 frames for Pentiment, and you didn't because you didn't care about Pentiment until PlayStation fans could get their goddamn hands on it. Get the hell out of here, bro. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. Because you play Pentiment and you enjoy Pentiment, you wouldn't care what the fucking frame rate was. Not when they They haven't talked about the frame rate until they was sending that motherfucker to PlayStation. Now all of a sudden the frame rate matters on the Xbox. The frame rate matters for a fucking paper game. For a 2D walking sim game. Come on now. Come on now, bro. Y'all gotta be faking it. They have to be faking that shit. And I think they are. They just doing that shit for the internet because they have something to complain about. They could just stop. They could just leave gaming altogether, bro, because that shit is nonsense. But into the actual news. We got the Penman shit out of the way. Nobody cares about that. But I just have to talk about it because I'm like, come on now, bro. Come on now. It's some of that shit that they should not be acting up about. When there's actual problems in gaming, and you want to talk about Penman's 120 frames mode, get the fuck out of here. But we're going to talk about Toys for Bob. And them leaving Xbox, leaving Microsoft, leaving Activision to go independent. That was a crazy thing to hear this week. After all the layoffs has been going on, Microsoft's laid off almost 2,000 people. Sony's laid off like 1,000 people. Freaking EA's laid off 100. I mean, like 900 people, 800 people. It is getting dicey out here in gaming. And there's like smaller companies. Embracer Group is doing their thing, selling people off, laying people off, shutting down studios. And there's smaller companies that are doing the same thing because all that COVID money is gone. I've been saying this a while. The COVID money's gone, bro. Now they gotta really work hard. And motherfuckers gotta get back to work for real because, they were sitting sideline, just watching money roll in because there was nothing else people could do. Now they gotta find money because they used to have this and now it's gone. We see what PlayStation is going through right now. They're having a whole lot of revenue problems. They're having a whole lot of profit margin problems because they boosted themselves and boasted about it instead of being smart about it, trying to look good when they knew they didn't really have it for real. And now that the reality is setting in, they're looking like, where's our money? Where's our money? They fucking splurged it all. They threw it away. Look at the budget for Spider-Man, and it was all reused assets. Where all that money go? Look at the budget for God of War. It was all reused assets. Where all that money go? Don't even get me started on all the fucking remakes and remasters of reused assets. They just released the game 2 months ago in January. There was literally no changes. Zero changes. They did put a DLC in there. A real roguelike mode, which is literally a rehash of the mode everybody been waiting on anyway. But no upgrades at all. Where did that budget go? You paid Naughty Dog how much to just literally ship the same code again? Just with a new label on it. That is what's happening to gaming right now. Everybody's getting cleaned up. But Toys for Bob announced that they're going independent, bro. They're breaking off from the mode. They're like, yeah, we don't want to be a support studio no more. We want to make new things. We want to make new games with new names. Even though I had a feeling Microsoft was gonna, pull them out from under the Call of Duty umbrella and let them work on something else. But they was like, fuck it, we're getting out of here while we can. And Microsoft was like, okay, good riddance. I mean, we hope for the best for you. And they're still like marking up a partnership. Maybe it's gonna be like a funding deal or something like that to make a game. They might make a game for Xbox. I don't really know how that goes, but it's kind of strange because Toys for Bob is one of those studios that we don't know if they made anything original since they got bought by Activision. Because Skylanders was licensed, Crash and Spyro was created not by them. There was just IPs that was owned by Activision at the time. So now that they're going off to make something new, what would they be making? But because they said they're working on something right now, and they also trying to foster a partnership with Microsoft. But I'm like, Toys for Bob, bro. Like, you got big for making Skylanders, yes, for making Crash and Spyro remakes and like sequels, but those are already established games. We don't know what you're capable of outside of that to really be like, yeah, bro, Toys for Bob, we've been waiting on this. Like, no, like I don't know how to feel about this, but they are going independent. But what are they going to do now that they literally have no IPs? Because they went independent, but they don't get to take Crash with them. They don't get to take Spyro with them. They don't get to take Skylanders with them. Every IP that they worked on under Activision, Microsoft has in a vault now. Sitting there, waiting for somebody to pick it up. Why would Toys for Bob leave in a time of great change? Like that's a strange time to like diverge from the mass when you literally could have got a greater opportunity where you were. But now they're looking for it somewhere else with nothing in their hands. And it's kind of strange. Like before you even got started, you were like, "Yeah, bro, we're just gonna get out of here before y'all even decide on our fate." And I mean, in some cases, it could be a smart thing to do, but on the other side of it, it's like you didn't even know what was gonna happen to you. You didn't even wait to see. You're like, okay, we're just gonna tank ourselves before anybody else can tank us. And I'm like, they could have uplifted you. A lot of fans thought they were going to be working on this Banjo Kazooie game. Everybody keep talking about this rumored Banjo game coming back. Everybody thought Toys for Bob was probably going to get Banjo, and they're going to go off and make a big budget Banjo game. But that's not happening. Toys for Bob is leaving. They're going independent, and we really don't know what else to say about that. Like, okay, you bought out. You're going independent. What do you do now, Toys for Bob? Because your name is not really that big outside of Crash and Spyro's like resurgence, reignite. There's nothing else to Toys for Bob for you to know about. Like I don't know any developers' names. I don't know the founder. I don't know anything about Toys for Bob really. So when they went independent, I'm like, what are y'all gonna stand on? That is partly where I'm trying to get at with this independence thing. Like we know when Bungie went independent, they instantly went to Activision because they needed something to stand on. And they got Destiny. They got that off the ground with PlayStation and Activision. And Destiny has got them this far. And now they're on fucking crutches. So Toys for Bob is on the same wave. They went independent. They have nothing to stand on. Now they have to find the inspiration, the IP, the workforce. I mean, they get to keep their people. And that's one thing that is good about this thing because if they were going to lose half their fucking studio, they was like, okay, let us just go independent and we can just handle the cost of having our people because they didn't want to lose them. I understand that from like an employer standpoint. If you have good people on your team, you don't want to lose them because corporations say, "Hey, bro, you got to cut these people." I mean, you just have to find a way to pay your people yourself, and they might leave you, or they might stick with you. Like, okay, okay, bro, we could take a little bit of hardship with you, but like, how far is that going to get Toys for Bob? How far is it going to get anybody in the gaming climate nowadays? Because like we see gaming studios are closing left and right, left and right. It is because big conglomerates are trying to make money. They're trying to recoup everything they lost when they was just throwing money around during COVID time. But like for all the indie studios out there that are trying to make it, and they're getting kind of like stepped over and looked over because all these big AAA games are trying to take all the fans away. Is I don't know. Toys for Bob is in a weird. They in a weird place right now, but they are going independent. I hope for the best for them. I don't know what they're going to be doing with that independence, but hopefully it's something good. We can see something come out of them, original, new, clean, fresh, and ready for the consumers to enjoy it. But like I I really don't know. It was a strange thing to come out there. Microsoft was like, "Hey, bro, y'all can go independent. It's fine." Activision was like, "Hey, if you want to leave, you can leave. We cool now." I'm like, oh, everybody's good with it. So it's really off the books for Microsoft and Activision. I mean, those are more people they didn't have to fire, and they actually don't have to pay them. So the amount of money, the budget that the studio had, that just goes right back to Microsoft and Activision. So they really don't have anything bad to say with Toys for Bob leaving. Yeah, they lose some good developers, but they have thousands of good developers, and those are off the books now. So that revenue, that spending money, is now back in the pot. It's back in the pot for a corporation, so they're happy that you're leaving. They're happy. They're like, okay, bro, we'll just go find our own way, make our own money, and pay our own developers. They like, for real? You're gonna do that? Fine, that's good, bro. And they let them go. I understand. That's why Activision and Microsoft didn't try to stop them. Didn't try to be like, hey, bro, we can do this and that. They didn't try to foster no deals. They're like, Toys for Bob, you want to leave? They get to leave. All the money that they had put aside for them, they get to take that back. They're gonna give it to another studio. They could probably bolster up one of the smaller studios, that Microsoft has. They have plenty of small studios over there working on games. Throw them a little bit more budget, see what they can do with it. Because Toys for Bob doesn't need it no more. They're already out the door. So yeah, I hope Toys for Bob does good with their newfound independence. It's just how are they going to get their name out there when their name is not attached to Crash or Spyro or Skylanders? Because they left all that behind at Activision and Microsoft. So their new thing has to be like bright eyed and bushy tailed. That shit has to attract a lot of attention. Or they're just going to sink where they could have just floated around with Activision again for another 10, 20 years. Which is one of those things. I mean, the Ori studio, Moon Studios, they're coming back with some fire after Ori is gone. They're coming back with dang, what is that game called? Moon Studios' new game. Moon Studios' new game. God damn, what is it called? No Rest for the Wicked. No Rest for the Wicked looks really good from Moon Studios, and this is coming off the deal. I mean the end of their partnership with Microsoft and Ori. It took them a while, but they're coming back, and it looks like they got some fire on their hands. So hopefully Toys for Bob can go the same way. They can get out of this deal with Activision and Microsoft. They can go independent. They can find their footing, find where they want to be at in the gaming industry, and then make something great. But hey, we have to wait and see. And with these gaming what do you call it, schedules, it might be like 3, 4, 5 years from now. We might see Toys for Bob come back with something fire. But I mean, what is gaming even going to look like in 5 years? We see what Microsoft is doing in the gaming industry. We see the pivot and turns and twists that Sony has to do in the gaming industry. We see what Ubisoft is doing. Everybody's going subscription based a little bit. They're trying to find that footing. And I mean, it's getting shiesty out here for gaming. So with developers getting cut left and right, Toys for Bob, they're going out on a limb. They're like, hey, bro, we'll just take care of it ourselves. Maybe they do great. Maybe they fall apart and end up right back where they started. But until then, I mean, we just have to wait and see with that one. But on to the next news. Power World. We ain't talked about Power World in a minute. Power World blew up real big. It's an early access game. It's still getting updated. There's plenty of things getting added and removed, but this one is kind of, I can't really say it's major news. It's just kind of unfortunate. With Power World's great popularity, they have to start initially like censoring their game. And we all know Power World is a crazy kind of game, bro. So many things can happen. You have butchering, you have slave labor, you have shooting and killing. There's so many things in Power World, and it's just pure chaos and fun. So many things you find like pals locked up in cages. You can rescue them, and their sweatshop thing. There's so many things that are adult themed in Power World. And now that Power World has gotten to this space where so many people are looking at Power World, censorship rules are being enforced on Power World now. So now they're censoring text and language and names, and there's these changes are happening drastically. Fans are getting back into their worlds, their private worlds, their offline server worlds, and they're noticing that a lot of the things that they have wrote on and that are named by them have been censored with asterisks and their names and shit are changing. And there's no way to change those things in Power World because it's an early access game. It's like an alpha build of the game. But this censorship is coming at the hands of a lot of people thinking like, oh, this is Microsoft's fault for the censorship. And this one time, Microsoft is to blame for some shit. I agree with the fans, bro. Because if Power World was just big enough to go under the radar, they wouldn't have to change a damn thing. They wouldn't have to change a damn thing. But since they got so big, I mean, they got to how many 13 million players on Xbox? They had like 8, 9 million players on Steam. Like they got real big real fast in a matter of weeks. In a matter of weeks, it was a crazy blow up for Power World. And Microsoft getting them in Game Pass was a big ass deal. I mean, the deal was 3 years old, so it just so happened to be a great thing for Microsoft that it made that deal 3 years ago. But Power being censored now is because so many eyes have seen it. So many people have played it on the Xbox. They're like, okay, now we gotta kind of enforce these rules that they enforced on everybody else. Conan Exiles, Dead by Daylight. There are so many online games, online communities that got censored by Xbox to come to the platform. This is just another one on the chopping block. And I think that's the thing in gaming I really don't like. How Microsoft has this blanket have this like blanket fucking censorship that they throw on every one of these developers. And then they let some developers squeak through. They let some developers squeak through, but then like the players are still under this fucking safety blanket of censorship. So with Baldur's Gate, Baldur's Gate, they have the full nudity thing, all that's going. You can censor the game yourself. CD Projekt has the same thing, but those games are kind of too big to kind of like try to cut them down because then you're gonna lose that game on your platform altogether. So they kind of got to conform to these people. But then when those things get out of the game and then get onto Xbox as like a platform thing, a screenshot that you could share around with the community, those things become public on Xbox's network, and that's when you start getting the censorship hit on you. But with Power Up, censoring names and text and stuff like that, those worlds are private too. Those are not most of those aren't online based. And the censorship is hitting people that don't even play online on Power World. They have a world that they play on, and now everything is kind of fucked up. All the naming is fucked. And it's because people are just casually naming things random dumb shit because they can, bro. And it's one of those things that like the ESRB rating system is there for a reason. And for some reason, Xbox is still mass censoring adult themed games. Not adult themed, but mature themed games. Like, why the fuck is language getting censored in a game not for fucking kids, Xbox? Conan Exiles, they had nudity and shit in their game too, but it was like a big deal like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or like 6 years ago, somewhere around there. Conan Exiles was a big ass deal because they were the first ones that had like fucking physics in the game for naked people. There was a big deal for people. They're like, hey, bro, this engine actually has good physics on character models. They enjoyed the hell out of it. Microsoft censored the fuck out of that game to come to Xbox. It didn't, I don't know if it hurt the game a lot. It definitely hurt the game some because censorship was being imposed on them before they even launched on the Xbox platform. And Conan is not a family friendly game. That is a definite mature rated game. Microsoft still censored the fuck out of it. So it's like when does the censorship stop? For Xbox, does it stop when you're a AAA game and there's no stopping you? You can just walk away at any time. Anybody under that, are they the ones that get censored? Because we saw Larian and Baldur's Gate. They bypassed a lot of Xbox rules. Dropped the game on Xbox, bro. And there was nothing Xbox could do because this is one of the biggest games last year. They kinda had to conform. Same thing with CD Projekt. Same thing with CD Projekt Red in Cyberpunk 2077. The game was too big for them to be like, okay, bro, we can't impose all these rules on you. What's up, Cool Breeze, bro? So that it gets to a point like Microsoft, bro. You need to change these censorship rules because you're kind of hurting the gaming industry at the same time as trying to keep it safe. Because only people you're hurting are the adults you make money off. Because the kids you're trying to protect, their parents are gonna just take them to another place to play fucking games if Xbox gets too toxic for adults, bro. If you can't go into a game and say some curse words as a grown ass adult with grown ass adults because Xbox said so, they're gonna leave Xbox. They're gonna take their wallet from the Xbox and go someplace where that doesn't happen. And Microsoft is feeling it little by little. They're feeling those things, but they're trying to save face for sure because they're trying to make it seem like okay, this is working when it's not. There's been plenty of people that got banned on Xbox for casual shit. I understand the Baldur's Gate 3 thing because like why are you recording it on your Xbox anyway, bro? You don't really need to be recording those things, but it's an option in the game. So they're like, why can't I record an Xbox? Because you know why. You're just being fucking weird about it. I understand that. But when it comes to just censoring language, censoring text in games, Microsoft, bro, come on now. Niggas will leave your platform. You know, you have the Xbox One. I know they know that niggas will leave the fucking platform. They don't care that the platform was good at one point. If this censorship start getting out of hand, Microsoft, you're gonna lose a whole lot of people, and you're gonna tank Xbox, and then Xbox is gonna go into the dirt. I mean, Game Pass will still be around, maybe, but them playing on a platform where they can't fucking do anything. Come on now, Xbox, bro. And it's crazy because Power World has a small development team. Pocket Pair has a small development team. So when they make these updates, they kind of put those updates on wherever their game is. So the Steam version of Power World is getting censored the same way the Xbox version is. So I'm like, they can't even make two different versions of the game because the Steam version doesn't need to be censored. Nothing on Steam is censored, not really, because they know how to differentiate adult games and mature games from fucking kids games. So if kids go into an adult game, that's not the fucking game's fault. Microsoft and PlayStation and Nintendo need to learn the same thing. I mean, Nintendo kind of does. Nintendo already has their like safety nets in the console for fucking adults versus kids, what they see on the store. Microsoft need to fucking fix that. PlayStation need to fix that shit. Because there's no way you gotta censor every game on the platform. Because you can't regulate what the fuck the kids are looking at versus what the adults are looking at. Let the fucking parents do their job, Xbox, bro. Stop trying to parent people on the fucking gaming platform. Because the parents will just fucking leave it. And they're gonna take their fucking kids with them. And you're not gonna have no money. You're not gonna have anybody to censor at that point. But I guess we gotta teach them that the hard way by not buying shit on Xbox that's censored. That's kind of gonna be where we end up at. We're just gonna everything that gets censored, you're just gonna stop. Okay, you're gonna censor Power World. Guess what? We're not gonna play Power World no more. Now all that Power World money, where is it going? To somebody else that's not censored. Maybe they learn their lesson. Maybe they don't. But hey, we kind of got to do this so then they can at least feel that shit. We got to do that with our wallets. But back to gaming news. Now we got to get into the nitty gritty. All the mass layoffs and canceled games is getting out of hand. A lot of games I'm looking forward to are in the dirt. A lot of games other people has been looking forward to are in the dirt. These gaming companies, they're looking at things and they're like, yeah, bro, that's costing us too much. We're axing it. And it's not good. It's not good for gaming. Embracer Group, they're up on a chopping block right now. And for Embracer, it's literally all their fault. Because at 2 years ago, 3 years ago actually, Embracer was one of those companies we talked about on the channel that were just buying studios. They were just buying everybody up. They were buying this and that. They bought Volition. They bought fucking Gearbox. They were buying everybody up. And people like Embracer is growing so fucking fast. And people was crying about Microsoft buying Bethesda at the time. Embracer was buying everybody. And now Embracer is kind of feeling the ramifications of them buying all these studios, paying all these people. Because now Embracer is selling everything. They're canceling studios, they're canceling games, and they're throwing away companies. They're giving away companies. I'm talking about for cheap. They bought Saber Interactive. You said, damn, it looked like the gaming industry is collapsing. It is. It's collapsing real fast, and it's the gaming industry's fault. It's all these companies' fault. They're fighting. They're trying to fight a battle that doesn't exist for them because they see Epic, they see Tencent, they see EA. They're making all this money on these live service games, and they won't in on it. Everybody wants in on their live service money, but they don't know how to get it. And then when they get it, they don't know how to keep it. Because we all seen Microsoft had some good live service games, but those fell apart. I mean, I guess they didn't fall apart, but they fell out of popularity. Now they have their little fan base, and there's nothing else to it. PlayStation tried real hard, and they canceled those games. Because they realized it was way harder to do than they thought. These ain't just yearly releases. That's why they got Activision. Activision, they're fumbling their bag. They have one of the most popular live service games. and they squander it every year, bro. They squander it every year. Hopefully, Microsoft can clean that up and get it back on track. But I mean, Halo tried to do it. It did not work out. Halo should have stayed how Halo was before. But when they see Fortnite making all this money all the time, every quarter on quarter, every year on year, the money is going up. They see it for PUBG, they see it for Apex Legends, and they're like, why can't we get that too? Because you don't have it, bro. Go find some money somewhere else. And they tried to buy all these things to supplement it, and now they're running out of money. And Embracer is one of the biggest culprits of them spending more money than they had. And it all comes back to a deal they had with a government. There was a government deal that Embracer was trying to partake in. I think it was the Saudi Arabian government, maybe. They were trying to get funded from them. I think it was like $2 or $3 billion. So Embracer was spending all this money that they didn't have yet. And then that deal fell apart. So now the deal that they were going to get all this money from is gone. Now Embracer spent all their money. So now they're trying real hard to get all that money back before their whole company have to go under. And it's a crazy thing. They bought Saber Interactive for almost $600 million. I'm $1 billion. No, $1 million. My bad. It's the millions, not the billions. Yeah, they bought Saber and all of their studios because Saber is a big ass company. They have 3,000 like 600 developers. Saber is massive. They might make games that are double A because none of their games are big triple A games. But they have more people in their company than like Microsoft did. Before they bought Activision and Bethesda, Saber is bigger than Microsoft, bro. In terms of people employed under them. They have like 13 studios, Saber does. Embracer bought that whole company for like $600 million. And they sold that motherfucker for $500 million. So they lost $100 million, essentially. You said, what about Rockstar? There's even a big drama with Rockstar employees. Apparently, a king of them decided, you know what? I don't want to work. I mean, then they just get fired. Then, like, if you don't want to work, why you don't have a job? Like, what? What do you mean? If you don't want to work, that means you don't have a job. You want to be poor because everybody got to work. Even billionaires got to work. People act like they don't. Like, if they're not working, they're just losing money. Unless they worked hard enough to understand how they won't lose money when they not work. But yeah, it's one of those things. Like the gaming industry is they got too comfortable with all the money they were making that they forgot that this is not forever. And now reality is setting in for every one of these companies we're talking about. Embracer, Rockstar, all of them. Because remember, Rockstar hired all these people when everybody was working from home, making their own hours. So they will casually work one day for like 3 hours. Like, okay, I did some work. I'm gonna just go do what I want now. And now they gotta go to work like normal people. And they're like, oh, I don't want to do this because I was getting paid more to do less 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And it's not the same time, bro. Like the times have changed. Everybody need to go find their motivations again. Or they gonna get kicked to the wayside. And that's why a lot of companies are kicking them to the wayside. So Saber being sold off, they're private now. So they're on their Ubisoft stuff. They're on their CD Project stuff because now they're just their own company. They have shareholders, people that bought them out, they helped buy them out, and now Saber's over there just making games that they need to make because now they have to make their own money. They have to set their own budgets. They got to pay their employees, and it's only like people people think like, oh, independence is lovely. Why do you think Bungie kept jumping from company to company? Because budgeting yourself is hard as hell. Now Bungie's in the ringer at Sony. They were in the ringer at Microsoft. They left. They were in the ringer at Activision. They left. Now they're over there with Sony and PlayStation. And guess what you think Bungie's gonna do now? They're gonna fucking leave because they don't know how to manage the books. So Saber going independent, that's lovely and all. But now they have to manage their own books, and they have 3,000 plus employees. You have 13 studios, Saber. They're going to start cutting people because they're going to feel the ramifications of everything that they done because they had somebody else paying their bills, bro. You said, did I speak about Toys for Bob? Yeah, I speak about Toys for Bob earlier because yeah, Toys for Bob went independent because they had the chance. It's not because anything bad was going on at Microsoft. They were losing employees that they wanted to keep. So instead of losing the employees and continuing on, they're like, okay, we'll just cut ties and keep our employees so we don't have to lay nobody off. And Microsoft and Activision was like, okay, if you want to keep your people and just go independent, we will let you. But Toys for Bob they have nothing but their employees now. All the IPs stay at Microsoft. Everything they created stays at Microsoft. Microsoft still gets the money for everything they sell, for Crash, for Spyro, for Skylanders. All of that stays at Microsoft. So Toys for Bob, all they have is their name and their employees, and they have to make do with that. What is Toys for Bob going to do? Because they wasn't working on anything. They were helping make Call of Duty. Now they're an independent studio out here. Maybe they got 200 employees, but now you got to find where the money's coming from. And that's what I was saying earlier. Like Toys for Bob, they have nothing to their name now. We don't know what Toys for Bob make outside of Skylanders and Crash and Spyro. What have they done? So now they have to make a whole new name for themselves out there in the wilderness when everybody's getting fired, when money is tight. Toys for Bob went out into that world and was like, okay, we got to find a way to live. And I hope for the best for them. But it's not looking good, bro. It's not looking good for Toys for Bob. It's not looking good for Saber. Even though Saber's saving KOTOR and they're making Space Marine, these games that look really fucking good, I hope for the best for them because 3,000 employees, 13 studios, Saber, and you got to do that shit solo now. There's no big corporation hanging over your head, making sure your books are tight. That's a hard life to live, bro. That's a hard life to live. And hopefully they can live it. Because when shareholders get upset, we all see what's happening at PlayStation. Right when those console sales went from 25 to 21 million, Sony lost $2 billion in investments. 10 billion. Gutted Sony real fast in a week, bro. They still haven't recovered that yet. How much have they recovered back since that happened? I kind of... Oh, shit, it's here. What are they up? They up 2%? So they maybe made a couple back? But I mean, they're not making that back for a long time. They took a massive hit on that. Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that, Cool Breeze. We're gonna get to that. But I mean, Embracer's trying to make back $2 billion that they sold. I mean, that they spent that they didn't have. So them selling Saber for 500, they're trying to sell Gearbox for another like $1 billion or something like that. And I'm like, Gearbox is not worth that much money no more. See, when you bought Gearbox, Gearbox was up. They were making like Tiny Tina. They had fucking Battleborn coming out. There was a whole lot of games Gearbox was making that were making them revenue. And then they had like the Handsome Jack collection and stuff like that for Borderlands. They were making a lot of money to their name, but now Gearbox is nobody in this gaming industry. You're not about to get $1 billion for Gearbox now because they're not making that much money. They're a liability to a lot of companies now. Gearbox is not worth what they're asking for. And Embracer is trying to sell Gearbox. They're trying to sell Gearbox just like they sold Saber. Just to try to make at least a little bit of money back. At least a little bit of money. They closed a lot of studios, so they probably freed up some financials somewhere. They laid off a lot of people, and now they're selling companies. And it's kind of sad because, like, why did y'all pick them up if y'all didn't know how to manage the books in the first place? It's a bad look for Embracer because they're massive. It's crazy how you never even knew of Embracer. It's because they're kind of a low key company, but they own a lot of things. So hold on, let me bring up the web because there was a picture I had way back in the day. it was a crazy like picture that was going around years ago when Microsoft was like buying everything, and it was like a web of how much of the gaming industry Embracer controls, and people was like, "Oh, Microsoft is a monopoly," and people was like, "Have y'all fucking seen Embracer? Have y'all seen Tencent?" And that's where this came from. So now Embracer, since they fucked off all their money during COVID time, and they didn't make it back, they're scrambling to try to make something up. But hold on, let me bring this up so you could like see Embracer for full force. I mean, this is going to be less now because they're selling a lot of things and they close a lot of studios. But this picture right here is what was going around when Microsoft started like buying companies and shit. And Embracer has most of the gaming companies under them. So Embracer Group is here and they own all of this. Most of these are gone now. Volition is gone. Aspire is gone. A lot of these companies are gone now because they like shut them down or sold them off. But Embracer had a lot of the gaming industry in cahoots with them. Embracer had a lot. Yeah, this graphic was crazy. And then this is Microsoft over here with a small slice of the gaming industry. And everybody like Microsoft's a monopoly. Bitch, what? They have the same slice as Sony does. What are you saying, Microsoft a monopoly? Ubisoft, yeah, Ubisoft kind of looks big, but it's just a lot of small Ubisoft companies that they all combine into like one company, and then they break them off into other companies to make games. So Ubisoft literally has just Ubisoft. They don't have many other studios under them. But then like Take Two has these, and there's a whole lot of pieces of Rockstar. So they look bigger than they actually are, but they're not. EA has a lot of small studios, and I don't know when they cut them. Some of these studios probably going to go under. Yeah, Embracer. Everybody thought Embracer was just going to take over the gaming industry. Tencent's the same way. Tencent just started buying shit, but they into the mobile sector, so they make a lot of money just off mobile games alone in China and stuff like that. They fucking own mini clips, nigga. I ain't seen mini clips in a long time, but Tencent owns mini clips. But yeah, this little web right here is what a lot of people were on about like 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And I'm like, come on now, bro. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't even understand. But they were talking like, oh, Microsoft's a monopoly. Look at that fucking pie chart and tell me who's monopolizing. But I mean, Microsoft is smarter with their money than Embracer is. So Embracer is going to be smaller when they're done selling everything off, and is going to even out. But the gaming industry, that's how it looked. And now, so many independent studios are coming out. So many developers are getting laid off to create new studios that the pie chart of the gaming industry is just they're all reducing and they're all cutting off. So all the consolidation everybody was crying about 2 years ago, that's just dead now. Nobody's consolidating because everybody's throwing all their employees away because they don't have enough money to sustain them. So all that consolidation was for what? All that cry of monopoly was for what? Nothing. Everybody was crying monopoly. Everybody wanted governments to step in, and it didn't change anything because the gaming industry is still probably in a better place now than it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. The AAA space though, so where all the big heavy hitters are, is where it's imploding it. But everybody under them, the AA teams, the fucking indie teams, they're doing perfectly fine. They're finding their money where it is. You said there's some very nice independent studios out there. Yeah, there is. There's some really good independent studios out there. There's some pretty good contracted studios out there. And then like like Focus Home, that's a small group, but they have a whole lot of independent studios. I guess they're not independent because they all work for Focus Home. But yeah, it's one of those things. And then like Don't Nod them, they kind of work for, I forget who they work for. But yeah, there's a whole lot of like good studios out there that are just doing their own thing. They're not making big AAA games though. So when people say like, "Oh, the game industry is dying," no, the AAA space is dying because people only play AAA games. Those are the people that only play like 2 or 3 games a year. They look at the biggest games to shown by IGN or some shit like, "Oh, I want to play that game," and those are the only games they buy. They buy Call of Duty. They buy fucking Spider Man maybe. Everything under that, they're not buying that shit. And now everybody think the gaming industry is falling off. You said also the team behind PlaySale? Yeah. But I think they work for Focus Home too, don't they? I forget what the hell the studio is called. But yeah, there's a lot of good studios out there. And there's a lot of new studios out there getting created every day. And they're making games every day. Just go on Steam. A lot of motherfuckers don't understand how gaming looks until they get on Steam, bro. Until they leave the console, they go to PC, and they realize games are being created and dropped every day. The gaming industry, it looks amazing, bro. It's just games people actually want to play are harder to find. Or harder to find because the big AAA space is just trying to cloud you with all these shit games that they think are gonna pop, and then they don't. And then you look at Suicide Squad, you look at Skull and Bones, and all these games just fucking tanked over and fail. Right now, the biggest game on the market is Helldivers and Palworld. Two small games created by small teams, and they both cost like $30 and $40. You said Asobo? I think that is the studio that made that. They made Plague Tale. But yeah, the two biggest games in the last 3 months has been Palworld and fucking Helldivers. And they're both $30, $40 games that are just casually fun. And now game developers are looking like, wait, how the fuck are they popular? And my 10-year, $300 million game like Skull and Bones is not making any money. They're not getting any fans. And they're looking at Helldivers and Palworld like, how did y'all do it? They made a game that's fucking fun. That people wanted to play. And it's crazy. Helldivers is Sony's biggest game this year. And they just had Final Fantasy come out. And it's wild that a lot of people did not know Final Fantasy came out. Because everybody's playing Helldivers. So the biggest game Sony's supposed to have this year is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And that shit got overshadowed. Yeah, fun is the key for these games, but game developers forgot that when live service games became a big deal. Because they thought like, oh, microtransactions and skins are what make us money. They forgot that your game has to be fun for those things to work. That's where Call of Duty fucked up. That's where Battlefront fucked up. That's where Destiny fucked up. They forgot that their game's supposed to be fun. It was supposed to be good. And they lost a whole lot of people. They lost a whole lot of people because of it. But I mean, they're gonna learn their lesson the hard way. They are learning the hard way. PlayStation's learning the hard way. Xbox is learning the hard way. Embracer's definitely learning the hard way. They have to sell off a whole lot. They're shutting down a whole lot of studios because they have to learn the hard way. But another person under fire is a sad thing to say, but I mean, I think it's a good thing for gaming in general. It's EA. Electronic Arts. My niggas. I really like EA, bro. I really like EA, mostly because they own BioWare. But other than that, like I like EA. I like the games that EA create, the EA originals. I played a lot of them. I played Sea of Solitude. I played what is it called? Lost in Random. I bought those games. Lovely fucking games. But they make good games that are small, bro. Like Haze Light and them, when they made fucking It Takes Two, and when they made what is the prison one called? Damn, what's the prison one called? Like EA had their hands in some really good fucking games. But they're all small games. And then they wonder why their big budget games are failing. They had the fucking Magic Shooter game that just came out and it failed. And they're like, oh, people don't want story games. Yes, the fuck they do. They just want good ones. That Magic shooting shit looked stupid. It looked horrible, EA. I know you do that. But it was a big AAA game. They had a big budget. Why didn't they succeed? Because it looked trash. And it probably played like trash. I didn't even play the game. I saw it. I saw them display the game, and I'm like, that shit looks dumb. That's not gonna get off, and it didn't. It fucking did it. But now EA is restructuring. They're cleaning up their studios. They have to lay off a lot of people though. So they laid off like 700, 800 people. Those numbers are crazy. They laid off a lot of people from a lot of studios, and they canceled a whole bunch of games. So EA went on record, and they're like, okay, our licensed IPs, we got to cut that shit out. So the Star Wars IPs, the Marvel IPs that they're working on, they don't want to work on them bitches no more. They want their IPs and their studios to work on their games. And I'm like, EA, if only you thought about this before. Your biggest game was Star Wars. Because remember, Battlefield used to be amazing. But then all of a sudden the Star Wars IPs came in and Battlefront 1 and 2 became like the spokesperson for the shooter genre on the EA side. And it's like, why the fuck did you push back your Battlefield to put up Star Wars? And now Star Wars is tanked for them. So now they gotta recoup Battlefield. You said, speaking of fun, when you have time, check out the trailer for Fashion Police Squad. Fashion Police Squad? What do you got me looking up, bro? What you got me look? Okay, hold on. We gonna have to look that up after Gaming News Weekly. So after we're done, we're definitely gonna look that up. What? Is it on Steam? I'm gonna have to look that shit up, bro. Fashion Police Squad. That's kind of like that Toy Soldier game, because that was a new take on FPS too. That shit was actually kind of good. But yeah, EA, they're going to work, so they shut down the Respawn game that they were making, which everybody think it was Mandalorian that they were working on. So you said it's surprisingly fun. I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm gonna definitely have to look it up. But yeah, the Mandalorian game that Respawn was supposed to be working on, they canceled it. Even though we just heard about that game. What happened to the what happened to the Rogue game? Like the wasn't it a bounty hunter game they was working on too at EA? I think they probably canceled that one too. So they're canceling the licensed IPs, and they want them to go back to working on their own games. Which, I mean, Respawn made Titanfall, but they gutted Titanfall and made Apex Legends. So does Respawn get to make Titanfall again? Because if my nigga BT comes back, this is a W for EA. Because people wanted Titanfall way more than they wanted fucking Star Wars Jedi Survivor. We wanted Titanfall, nigga. But they gave us Jedi Survivor instead. Did Jedi Survivor make them a lot of money? Hell no. So will Respawn be making another Jedi game? Maybe. But it sounds like Respawn might be able to make another motherfucking Titanfall game. You said that should be the slogan from here on. You said EA at it again. Bro, EA is always at it again, bro. Which is partly why I have to like express my opinion of EA. Because I like some of the things EA does. The EA original side of EA is really fucking good. The little indie side of EA does amazing things. When they don't fuck up BioWare, they do amazing things. So with licensed IPs out and their IPs back, we already know BioWare is working on Dragon Age and Mass Effect again. But why the fuck did they kill Anthem, bro? I've been playing Anthem. I made a video earlier this week, I think. Me playing Anthem. I've been playing a lot of Anthem, bro, because Anthem was a brilliant fucking game. An amazing idea by BioWare. And EA is kind of the reason it got fucking gutted. Because they changed it partway through, they turned it into a live service game, and then a live service elements wasn't done. It was half-baked. It was unfinished. And all we got was a shell of a great game that could have been. But does that mean the Iron Man game is dead? Now that they're cutting licenses out? Does that mean the Black Panther game is probably dead from EA? We don't really know for sure. But we know Mass Effect and Dragon Age are coming back. Which is great news for me because I'm a BioWare fan. Will Battlefield get back to how Battlefield used to be because Battlefront might be dead from the EA side? Because we all knew EA as a company that made licensed games. Because that's what they did for so long. All their sports games were licensed. All their shooters were kind of licensed when they start going into Star Wars and shit like that. Now they're cutting back. They're cutting back licensed IPs. They're like, nah, we don't need that no more, bro. We're gonna work on our own. And I kind of like that move because they have a lot of great IPs. You know who need to fucking do that? PlayStation, which we're getting into them next because Sony definitely laid off a whole lot of people. Almost 1,000 employees at Sony got laid off. I think it was about 800 or 900 from like their gaming division alone. But PlayStation laid off a whole lot of developers from all their studios, and they shut down a whole studio. They shut down the London studio, which I don't know what the fuck the London studio made. I think last Gaming News Weekly we looked up Sony studios, and we was like, what the hell do any of them make? Because they haven't made a game in a long fucking time. We know about 3 or 4 of their big studios. Every other studio, what the hell do they work on? Maybe some VR shit, maybe some support studio shit, but Sony's learning the hard way too. They paid Bungie $3 billion. For what? For what? What did they pay Bungie for? Because Bungie tanked after they got with PlayStation. Destiny has became a horrible fucking game. It was already a bad game. Now it's a horrible fucking game. I don't think anybody that I knew that played Destiny still plays Destiny now that they are on the side of PlayStation. The last couple DLCs that came out were bad. All the updates that come out usually break things or they lose content. There's so many bad things going on at Bungie that even the PlayStation's new interim CEO, it was like, what the hell did we buy Bungie for? They remember PlayStation got a lot of good PR because they overpaid for Bungie so Bungie can keep all their employees. And now they have to fire all of Sony's employees. I don't think any of the Bungie ones got laid off. So PlayStation subsidized fucking Bungie. I mean, Bungie already had to lay off people last year, I think. So I think they already did their layoffs. But still, PlayStation paid a lot of money for Bungie to keep their employees. But Sony had to shut down the studio, lay off a whole lot of employees. Almost half as many as Microsoft did. I think it was half as much as Microsoft did. But Microsoft is twice the company, 3 times the company. So the metrics are steep for PlayStation on their side. It's because they're not making enough money. Profit margins are down. They lost $10 billion in like market value from investors. People just sold stock from them. I mean, I sold my stock too, so I can't even be like, oh, that's a tragedy. I sold my PlayStation stock as well, bro. I sold my Sony stock as well because that shit was not. It was not looking good. And maybe if it tank enough, if it goes to like 70, I'll probably buy in again because PlayStation is going to recover in like 5 years. Once they start going to PC full force like they said they was, they're going to make a lot of money and their stock is going to go back up. So if it goes to like 70 something, I'm going to buy in again. I'm not even going to lie. But right now PlayStation looking rough, bro. They shutting down studios, they're canceling games. And Helldivers is the only good markup they got. See, when I saw that Rebirth came out and everybody's playing Helldivers instead, I'm like, Sony, bro. You and Square Enix were banking on fucking Final Fantasy VII making a lot of money. But if nobody left Helldivers to play it, what the fuck happens to Final Fantasy VII for PlayStation? Because I don't think Final Fantasy VII is going to make as much as they thought it would. Because everybody's playing Helldivers. Everybody's fighting for democracy. So what the fuck is Final Fantasy about to do over there? With no fans, with no customers, with nobody buying their game. Because I haven't seen YouTube explode with Final Fantasy content like it usually would. Not how Final Fantasy 16 did. Not how Final Fantasy Integrate did. Now Rebirth is out. Nobody's playing it. Is anybody playing it in chat? I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of people picking it up. And I mean, that's bad for Square because they just had a flop already with fucking Foam Stars. That shit was cooked on arrival and they gave that shit out for free. People still ain't played it. Final Fantasy VII, $70 game. Another piece of a game. And that shit is kind of looking stagnant right now. It's kind of looking rough on the PlayStation side, and it's their big AAA game, and nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it. Everybody playing fucking Helldivers. So I'm like, Sony, you kind of hurt. They kind of hurting from success right now because Helldivers has done so good for them Then now the game they need to do good for their game of the year conversations is actually getting overshadowed by the $40 Helldivers 2, the horde shooter fucking game, bro. You say you're busy playing Resident Evil 2? I'm busy playing Anthem, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. I've been playing old ass Anthem, enjoying myself, bro. The game Anthem is just a game that is unmatched in today's time, bro. It's just an unmatched game. So PlayStation, hey, they're getting kind of cooked. They're getting kind of cooked, and they got to get their profit margins up, so they're going to PC. I'm telling you, if they bring Bloodborne and Demon Souls to PC, they're gonna make hundreds of millions of dollars, bro. That is easy money for them. All they have to do is port those two games to the PC platform, and people are gonna buy them. The FromSoft fans have been waiting for Bloodborne and Demon Souls to leave PlayStation for a long time. I know a lot of FromSoft fans that bought a PlayStation to play those FromSoft games, which is what Sony wanted them to do, but not a lot of them are gonna do that. But if you bring them bitches to the PC and they launch on Steam and they actually fucking work, but Sony's too scared of making money, bro. They's too scared of making money. You say you're kind of shocked you're on the last level of Resident Evil 2? See, I ain't played a new like a remake of Resident Evil games. I haven't played any of them. Because the only ones I actually played, I played 4, I played 5, and I think I played a little bit of 6. But I played those like back in the day, like the old ones. So like they've remade Resident Evil 2, 3, 4. If they remake 5, I might fuck around and play it. I might fuck around and play Resident Evil 5 if they remake it. But Resident Evil 5 and 6 are one of those ones that like people really didn't fuck with. Because it was more action game than it was Resident Evil. Which I mean, I kind of agree. 5 was amazingly action game, bro. The shit you do in that game was like double what you can do in 4. And I enjoyed every moment of it. And especially with co-op, I enjoyed every moment of it. But back to the gaming news. Nintendo, bro. Oh my gosh. We got to talk about Nintendo because Nintendo's going through it right now. Nintendo is on a spree of just suing motherfuckers, bro. And I'm like, people's like, if y'all worked hard enough on y'all games that I do with suing random people on the internet, Nintendo would be in a better place. And I kind of agree with them. But Nintendo is they up and at it, bro. They in court. They are suing the people that made Yuzu, the Switch emulator for PC. Oh, it's bad, bro. Because the Switch emulator is actually fire as hell. If y'all ever use Yuzu, it's some of the best piece of tech you can possibly download on a PC. The Yuzu emulator is so fire. And it's crazy. Nintendo knows how fire it is. They've been watching Yuzu a long time. And it's crazy because Yuzu, what did Nintendo say about it? Because it's some of the best shit you can possibly have if you like Nintendo games and you have a PC. Yuzu is unmatched. Yuzu is unmatched. He said, "Y'all been slick for the longest." Yeah, they've been watching him. But look, the straw that broke the camel's back for Nintendo to sue Yuzu is the fact that Yuzu has been out a long time, but it hasn't been a big deal until Zelda came out. And remember, Zelda was running kind of rough on the Nintendo Switch. So it was dropping frames. It was running like 15, 20 frames per second. So on Yuzu, you can run Zelda Tears of the Kingdom at like 60 frames and shit. And Zelda got pirated over 1,000,000 times. That means people downloaded Yuzu and downloaded Zelda Tears of the Kingdom over 1,000,000 times, bro. So that's 1,000,000 in sales that Nintendo didn't get because their game didn't run good enough on the Switch. And Nintendo's like, you took 1,000,000 of our customers, nigga. There's no possible way. And now Nintendo wants to go to court over that. It's because Nintendo's games are so popular that even the fucking pirated version of the games got downloaded over 1,000,000 times. That mean how much was Zelda Tears of the Kingdom? How much did that game cost? Was it a $70 game? I think Nintendo did start making $70 games, didn't they? You said 79? 70? Yeah. So it was a $70 game. That mean they Yuzu took a lot of money from Nintendo, bro, and they want that shit back. Cause I mean, 70 times a million people, bro. Damn. Damn. That's $70 million that they didn't get, that Nintendo didn't get because Yuzu did it better. So if Yuzu took $70 million from Nintendo, bro, they like fuck Yuzu, nigga. I don't care if y'all software is good because Nintendo could easily make that 70 million plus if their games actually came to PC to be sold. Because they know there was a million plus people that wanted to play Zelda that couldn't on the Switch. So they chose to steal the game instead. Over a million people. Nintendo, if you see those numbers and you're angry that $70 million didn't come to your pockets because you didn't want to come to your customers and you think I'm going to just sue them instead, is a crazy ass idea. Because you see Xbox games are on PC, PlayStation games are on PC, and people are buying them bitches and not stealing them. Unless they have some bullshit ass anti-theft software that breaks the fucking game. Cause we see that a lot. They got a whole lot of like DRM in their games that break the fucking frame rates and tank the game. It doesn't launch properly. So they gotta remove the DRM to fucking play the fucking game. Those games get pirated and they fucking deserve it. But like when God of War and Spider-Man and Horizon came to PC, people bought that shit because they wanted to play it and they didn't want to buy a PlayStation to do it. When Halo and Forza and Gears came to fucking PC, people bought that shit because they didn't want to buy an Xbox to play it. Nintendo, if people are going out of their way to to download pirated software to find the right fucking the right place to download the game to emulate it on the PC, over a million people have done it. You know that, and you could have got $70 million off of them if they could just buy the fucking game. Why are you suing Yuzu, bro? This is valuable data that you're collecting. That the PC platform is exactly where Nintendo needs to fucking go to make a little bit more money. And they say, fuck that, bro. We'd rather sue them niggas. I'm like, Nintendo, buddy. I understand that your game got pirated. But that means people wants to play your game that is not on Nintendo Switch, bro. You could give them exactly what they want and make all that money back just by porting the fucking game properly. And it won't cost you $70 million to port the fucking game, bro. It will not. Because if the people can turn a Switch game into a PC game perfectly ported to follow all the systems of a PC and run that shit on an emulator, Nintendo, you can fucking do it, bro. Nintendo can fucking do it too. These people are doing this shit out of the kindness of their heart. You gotta think about that. Most pirates are doing this shit out of the kindness of their heart. Most of their software should be free, bro. That should be free. You could download Yuzu for free. You could download Tears of the Kingdom for free. They put their heart and soul into this shit. Like the modders for Bethesda games. They do this shit out of the kindness of their heart. Yeah, I know how Nintendo gets with their IPs, but that's the problem here. If Nintendo cares about their IPs and cares about how much money their IPs are actually making them, they should probably just give people the right to buy their fucking game. Because if you know it's going to get pirated anyway, you think suing Yuzu is going to stop people from stealing Tears of the Kingdom? You think stopping Yuzu is going to stop people from stealing the next big thing from from Nintendo? No. Now the pirates are going to work harder to take your games because you tried to keep it from them. Remember, when the DRM shit start happening on PC, more games with DRM get pirated than games that don't have DRM at all. Because most people on the internet that want to play your game is willing to buy it if it's worth it at all. But if you try to keep people from stealing your game, more people are going to try to take it from you. That's like putting security locks on all your shit when you're in a safe place. Because now people are curious. They want to know what the fuck is in the box. Because you have this big ass locked box, they want to know what's in it. So more people are going to try to open it. And that is what Nintendo is doing. They got this big ass locked box full of amazing IPs. And people are getting tired of you not letting them see what's in that box, bro. So they're taking it. They're going into the box when you're not looking and they're taking that shit out. And they're working real hard to do it, Nintendo. So why don't you just sell your games to those people? Because at least half of them are going to buy it. And that'd be like $35 million if even half of the people that stole the game actually bought the game that you didn't have before, Nintendo. Like, this is just numbers, bro. These are just numbers that I'm spitting out. But these numbers are real, based on Nintendo's own gripes with Yuzu. And even if you sue Yuzu, you shut Yuzu down, there's going to be like 3 or 4 Switch emulators that take Yuzu's place. Because if Yuzu is the collective of everybody's hard work, and you take them down, that means new pirates are going to come in and do that work again. They're just going to piggyback off of everything Yuzu already taught them, and they're going to do it better. And then your games are going to get pirated 2 million times and not 1 million. This is the shit Nintendo is getting up to. And I'm like, Nintendo, bro. Like, the PC platform is where everybody's going to end up playing games. Because consoles are really just hurting gaming at this point. They're good for companies. So with Xbox and Nintendo and PlayStation, they're good for companies because the companies get to control everything that they produce onto their platform. They get 100% of the cut. But the PC is where the gamers are going to go to game, bro. Because they're getting tired of these companies' bullshit. And if you can get Yuzu on PC and play all the Zelda games, why get a Nintendo Switch? Why get a Switch? Just to help Nintendo? It's not about helping Nintendo no more. Because Nintendo don't want to help themselves. Because they know they have fans on PC. Over 1 million of them. And they're like, yeah, fuck those people. Come buy a Switch. Really? That's exactly what you're saying. Yes, you want to play Nintendo games. No, you don't want to do it on a small-ass Nintendo Switch console. Fuck you. That's exactly what Nintendo is saying to their fans right now. By shutting down Yuzu. Not fixing the problem. They're not fixing the problem. They're just putting a fucking Band-Aid on it. When that Band-Aid get old and fall off, the problem is going to continue. And Nintendo's going to do what? They're going to sue the fuck out of the next person. And this is the cycle of Nintendo, bro. And it's outrageous that this is what Nintendo is resorting to when you could literally just let people buy your game. It's so wild that like the culture of console gaming is so deep rooted in like colonialism, I think that's the word for it, that like motherfuckers don't want to branch out. And when Microsoft did it, people said this is a dumb idea. Where Microsoft was like, hey, we're just going to go PC. We're just going to go PC because there's people over there that want to play our games. People called Phil and Microsoft dumb. You're going to kill your console. But now the console is doing well. The PC platform is getting all the games and is doing well there. And now every other gaming media company is looking like, damn, we kind of need that money that PC offers. But we also want to keep our console locked solid. Fucking PlayStation. And they're slowly but surely spilling out onto PC. Because they can't hold that shit back no more. Because they're tanking behind their wall. Those big ass castle walls that they think they're protected behind, they're starving over there. Because they think people are going to come to the castle to bring them the food. No, nigga. Now you got to go find the food yourself. Because you done fucked up your name. Nintendo, they might be in that same boat. Even though they sold hundreds of millions of Switches. That low power draw is really keeping people away. And I own a Switch. I do think I want to play the games on the Switch. I do. But when the bitches start stuttering, nah, nah, I don't know. Sometimes, I mean, Nintendo got some powerful IPs though. Yeah, Nintendo will be all right. But I mean, if that $70 million really made them that upset that they go sue a whole pirate company, that means something has changed in Nintendo. You said FPC. Why? Why would you do that, Cool Breeze? Bro, PC is a universal platform. There was a content creator I saw a couple of clips that he played Call of Duty with Joy Cons. So instead of using a normal controller, Mans was running around Call of Duty with two Switch Joy Cons, bro. And he made amazing content. I saw a lot of his clips. And Nintendo banned Joy Cons. They banned the Joy Cons, so they don't work no more. So he had to switch back to keyboard and mouse. And he's like, yeah, now this shit's not even fun. The game's not even fun no more because Nintendo legit stripped the fun out of his content. He was running around shooting people, throwing knives with Joy Cons on Call of Duty. Some of the most spectacular clips you could possibly watch. Some of the most entertaining gaming you could possibly watch. And Nintendo gutted that shit. Like, fuck it, I can't use our Joy Cons on a PC to play Call of Duty. Damn, Nintendo, not even the fucking controllers are safe. Nintendo is really just in a box, bro. And I understand they have a really strong box. They got one of the strongest boxes in existence for keeping shit out or keeping shit in. But like, why do you have to stay in that box forever, bro? Like, Nintendo got put in that box by PlayStation. We know that. PlayStation kind of put Nintendo in that box. But Nintendo, you can leave the box now, bro. You don't have to stay in there no more. And I think this is what I'm trying to get at. Like, Nintendo, you might have been placed in that box by PlayStation because PlayStation was just stepping on every gaming company possible to get to the top. But you don't have to stay in that box no more. We see Sega, they got all the way out the box, bro. Like, fuck the box. We're just going to be a software company. That's kind of what they did. Nintendo, they got put in their box, and they like, yeah, bro, now we're about to make the most beautiful box possible. And they did. They made a lovely fucking box over there. But you can leave the box every now and again. Like, Nintendo, bro, there's fine. It's fine to leave that box. Nobody's going to be upset. But Nintendo's like, fuck nah, bro. They staying in the box that they got placed in. Sony's like, fuck, our box is falling apart. We might need to jump ship. Xbox already left the box. They like, oh nah, bro. We're a software company anyway. They got the cloud. But in good news from Nintendo, a Pokemon game got announced. Which is another, like, in another vein of like Legends of Arceus. It's Legend Z to A. And I haven't seen much on the game besides some people said it was a remake of an older game, of two older games. And I'm like, I didn't think it sounded like a remake. It didn't sound like a remake to me. But like, that's all I really heard about Z to A besides it was going to be a game like Legends of Arceus. And I'm like, that's kind of cool that they're making another like open world Pokemon game. Especially with all the hype that Power World has gotten for like open world, like run around Pokemon style game. I mean, Nintendo definitely need to shake it up a little bit. Why the fucking fire warning going on? You said all jokes aside, I get the games running better on PC, but there's something about Nintendo games elsewhere that feel off. I mean, yeah, because you're so used to them being on a Nintendo platform. But right now, like when Atlas showed Shin Megami Tensei 5 Revenge going to PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, that boosted Atlas up so far because we knew Shin Megami Tensei was going to be on Nintendo Switch. It was going to be on Switch forever. And Shin Megami Tensei fans, they cope with the fact that they have to play it on Nintendo Switch if they want to play that series. Nocturne left and went to PC, but that was it. 4 was only on the motherfucking DS, wasn't it? It was only on the DS. So people only got to play Shin Megami Tensei 4 on the goddamn DS. It might have came to the Wii, maybe. But Shin Megami Tensei 4 probably would have got a lot more players because it was a pretty good game if it wasn't stuck on the fucking DS. If it wasn't made for an handheld. And then Shin Megami Tensei 5 is definitely going to look better and run better on an Xbox, a PlayStation, and a PC. Even though it was a good game on Nintendo Switch. But the game director himself said they had to cut a lot of shit out because it was going to the Switch that they could put back in with vengeance that are going to be going to all the other platforms. So it like game developers themselves are like, yeah, we could do a lot more if Nintendo just gave them the right to. And yeah, at first people are gonna be like, oh, you don't need the Switch no more. But the Switch is the easiest way to play those games. Just like the Xbox is the easiest way to play Xbox games. I have a good PC and I still play on Xbox. Because there's things that Xbox give me that PC would never do. The Switch is portable as hell. I mean, I guess PCs are kind of portable now when you can buy a whole like Steam Deck. But at first, PCs are stationary. The Switch is portable and it's light, and it worked. Joy-Cons and shit, like they have a whole lot of things that can bring people to the Switch that PC would never have. But that uniqueness is the only reason people even look at Nintendo. They wouldn't lose that if they let their IPs go get sold on PC though. Cause like nobody's gonna look at Nintendo differently because Shin Megami Tensei is gonna be on Xbox now. Nobody's gonna look at Nintendo differently. It is Nintendo's game. It's Nintendo's franchise from Atlas. But now more people get to play that game. And Atlas is gonna make a lot more fucking money because of it. Because I'm probably gonna buy Shin Megami Tensei 5. I don't know. Maybe. I have to think about it. Because Metaphor is gonna be coming out too. And that's the brand new IP from Atlas. From the P studio. And that shit's gonna be multi-platform. It's a crazy time to be a gamer. It's a crazy time to be a gamer. Look, I forgot Dragon's Dogma was coming out in 3 weeks. Now I'm scrambling to try to figure out if I'm gonna be able to play Dragon's Dogma at launch or not. Because I kind of want to, but I kind of need to finish a lot of games. So I'm gonna need to do a lot of. I'm gonna either need to do a lot of live streaming, or I'm about to throw a lot of games on the back burner. And I'm looking at fucking Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm like, hey, I might go play Dogma 2 Baldur's Gate. Like, I mean, you were fun while it lasted. But I'm not a super fan of Larian like a lot of other people were. Well, for Baldur's Gate in general. Because a lot of those Baldur's Gate 3 fans never played a Larian Studios game. Besides Baldur's Gate 3. So you can't really say that they were really Larian Studios fans. They just like Baldur's Gate 3 because of all the shit they put in the game. But I mean, I was a fan of Divinity. So I mean, I'd rather play Divinity than Baldur's Gate anyway. That's just me on the gaming side of all this, not on the fan side. But yeah, I might have to drop Baldur's Gate and go play Dragon's Dogma 2 because I know I'm about to play the fuck out of Dragon's Dogma 2. You know how much I played the Dragon's Dogma 1? Just to have that experience again, brand new from Capcom. I hate that they ruined the Strider, but I'm gonna get a Strider back somehow. I'm gonna just be a magic archer and just be like, fuck it. But they got a lot of new classes that I've been kind of evading watching any of that stuff. But Dragon's Dogma 2 is looking like a real good fucking game. I'm just hoping it lives up to the hype that I got in my heart. Because Dogma 1, I bought that motherfucker 3 times, and I don't regret it at all. Oh yeah, I got my 360 games here. Oh shit. All the games I've bought too many times. Look, I got my old 360 game cases here, bro. I pulled them out the box the other day. I think it was like a day or two ago. Pulled the motherfuckers out the box. He said Team Retro, yeah, I got my look. Oh shit, bro. I don't even know if Rainbow Six Vegas is backwards compatible. I need to test it out. I need to play this fucking game. Rainbow Six Vegas was a peak shooter, bro. It was a peak third-person shooter. Rainbow Six Vegas need to come back. Cause that shit was monumental. Boy. Y'all just don't understand, bro. Look at this. And I bought that motherfucker digital too. I bought it digital too. I'm just one of those. Come on now. I just couldn't help it, bro. I just couldn't help it. I bought that motherfucker again. Nigga. Nigga, this back in the day, bro. Oh, I just dropped the disc. This back in the day, that motherfucking trilogy. You said, are you late? Yeah, you're late, Mo. I even wrote your comment back, bro. I said 1 p.m. What time is it? It's almost 2:30. Mo, that ain't be late. That ain't be late. But yeah, like, bro, this motherfucking game case, bro. When EA made this, I was like, come on now, buddy. 5 discs, all 3 Mass Effect games, and I have all of them digital. And not only do I have all of them digital, I bought the fucking remakes, nigga. I bought the trilogy again as a remake. But this case right here would never fail. This right, like, there's some times, bro. They're like, come on now, they got the SR on the back. Damn, that N7 right there is crazy, bro. I know every Mass Effect fan that got this fucking thing. They were like, "This is it." Nigga. I'm talking about. I played the fuck out of Mass Effect for years because I had that fucking trilogy like that. Oh my bad, I'm tweaking out. I'm pressing all this other shit. Look, I got my Fallout 3 case with the DLC in it. Back when they made DLC discs, look. The DLC disc. Oh man, this shit was so good back in the day, bro. That shit was so good back in the day. Fallout New Vegas, peak game, peak game. You say you've been playing Splinter Cell. Splinter Cell was so good, bro. It is crazy how like all the big franchises from back then kind of just like fell off because the change in gaming from third person stealth games to third person action games with cutscenes and everything kind of revolutionized the fuck out of how people consume games and how people look at the games. That Splinter Cell was a brilliant IP that has kind of fell to the wayside because they don't want to put that much effort into making a stealth game. A lot of people won't play over a casual walking simulator game like fucking God of War that everybody can play. You said Conviction was different from the rest. I mean, that was the last one, wasn't it? That was like the last one they made. Bro, Halo Reach. Come on now, bro. Pristine. I still got these fucking cards in here and everything, bro. I never even opened this motherfucker. Nigga, that is how crazy this was. I never even opened this code to get the helmet and stuff. I never even opened it. It's still in there. Back when they came with information books. See, this is why physical games die because like, where the information books at? Where the information books go? They don't even do that no more. Where's Skyrim at? I just realized it. What the fuck is Skyrim? I should have that. Where the hell is it? Because my map. You say you got to get you a 360 so you can play Bloodshot. Yeah, I remember we talked about that last Gaming News Weekly, didn't we? How the second game is backwards compatible, but the first one's not. Which is a weird thing. I have Gears 1 and 2 here. My Gears 2 case is kind of beat, though. I'm not even going to fake it. My Gears 2 case is kind of beat. This motherfucker's ancient. Look at that. Look at that little logo. Only on Xbox 360. Not anymore. That shit's on Xbox One and Series X. You said you almost paid 250 for Def Jam Vendetta? What? Like, that's kind of crazy. I don't think I'm paying 250 for it. I'll probably pay like 100. I ain't even gonna fake it. Def Jam Vendetta was a really good fucking game. Def Jam Vendetta was a really good fucking game. The story was amazing. Demobbed him. Oh man, this story was hella fucking good, bro. They just flashed back so many memories. That just flashback hella memories, bro. D-Mob them was crazy. I mean, Fight for New York story was really good too. With like Snoop Dogg now. And having his crew like betray him at the end because he was a snitch. That's just kind of crazy. But wait, what was that game you told me to look up, Cool Breeze? You said that's close to the price for Eternal Darkness. They want 100. Damn. See, some games are too expensive though. But yeah, what was I supposed to look up? Fashion Police Squad. Yeah, Fashion Police Squad. Let's go look up this game. Hmm. Where have I seen this for? I've seen this before, I think. Hold on, let me get the headset on so we can watch this trailer. Cause it says from a year ago. I don't think I've seen this before. Hold on, pause. I need to put it up on screen. All right, what are you doing? Hold on. Sometimes they be tweaking. And I'll be trying to display stuff, so I have to reorganize it. There we go. Fashion Police Squad. Let's see what this mug got to offer. This motherfucker hella goofy. You say, you know what? You might drop that $100. $100 is crazy for one game. I mean, I've paid $100 for games before. I ain't gonna act like I haven't. That nigga's whipping the fuck out of niggas. Deep coat. What is this? This that nigga belt. Buddy acting like Pootie Tang, bro. His belt is OP. Fucking Fashion Police Squad, bro. That's just hella goofy. Golden toilet. Out now on PC. Did it never come to console? I don't think it ever came to console, did it? Damn, that's kind of fucked up. It never came to console. You say you have it on Xbox? How have I never seen it? I think I've seen it one time. Maybe I've seen the trailer or like an announcement trailer for it. I never seen that full trailer though. Hold on, let me look it up on Steam real quick. Open up Steam. I ain't opened up Steam in a while. What's on the front page of Steam? War Thunder. You said the trailer doesn't do the game justice? I don't think it did. It was pretty good. Black Desert. Why the hell is Black Desert on the front page of Steam? Mountain Blade Warband? I have Warband. I really like Mountain Blade. I just wish it wasn't as fucking jank. Like if they got the jank out of the fucking game, I think it'd be really good. Evernight actually came out. I kind of wanted to play that Evernight game. I played the demo at Steam Next Fest, but then I completely lost track of it. I played a whole lot of uh Steam Next Fest games. I ain't even gonna fake it. There's just too many fucking games coming out. Kona 2 came out? What the fuck? I didn't know it came out already. I thought it came out this year. That shit came out last year. Holy fuck. I thought we had more time. Fashion Police Squad. That shit $20. So yeah, you told me it was coming out for sure. I didn't remember what time it was coming out. It came out in October. Damn. How did I forget? I definitely forgot. It got very positive reviews. Is it multiplayer? Or is it a single player game? Cause I might have to try this motherfucker out. I ain't even gonna lie. It looks hella fun. It looks like old Doom. That's how it looks. It looks like old Doom. Bro, I'm still upset that Oxenfree 2 still haven't came to Xbox yet. You said there's a lot happening in these gaming streets. There is, bro. But that's why I do Gaming News Weekly. As many weeks as I can to try to keep up. To try to keep up. Bro, Oxenfree 2 not coming to Xbox still pains me to this day. Like to this day, I'm still wounded that Netflix would do that to us. Yeah, I'm wounded. You say you got it on Switch? Yeah, it came to so many platforms and not Xbox. Like I think Netflix did it on purpose. Because Xbox made Oxenfree 1. They funded the game, they published the game. Oxenfree 1 was an Xbox game. And then Netflix buys the studio and was like, yeah, fuck Xbox, bro. They not getting a second one. I'm still holding out hope that one day it comes to Xbox so I can play it and get my motherfucking achievements. But I'm still waiting, bro. I am still waiting. And it pains me to know that the game is good. You said why not get it on Switch? Because I want my Xbox achievements, bro. I beat the first one on Xbox. I want to beat the second one on Xbox. Like I don't want to because I know I can play the game. I can play the game in many places. I can go get it on Switch. I can go get it on PC right now on Steam. But the place I want to play that game is not there, bro. And I just hold out hope that one day it just shows up. And I'm gonna instantly grab that hoe and play it. I'm not even gonna fake it. I'm gonna instantly grab it. You said you better. I'm not waiting for. I mean, I'll wait for a lot of things. Like Banish came out last week. No, it came out last month, and I didn't buy it. I want to play that game a lot, but there's a lot of games I'm playing, and there's a lot of games that I need to play. But Don't Nod and Focus Home, Banish came out, and I'm like, I need to get that fucking game. I need to play it. I know I do. And I think I want to get it maybe this week and play through it heavy and finish it before Dragon's Dogma 2 comes out. Because I think Dragon's Dogma 2 is one of the games that I don't want to wait to play. I think I actually want to play that game when it drops. Like how I did Starfield and shit like that. Like Dragon's Dogma 2 is one of those games that I do want to play. Like right when it comes out. Cause that motherfucker comes out on the 21st. So I have like 17 days. I think I have 17 days. So I could probably be banished in 17 days. How long is banished, by the way? Let me look it up. Yeah, there's certain games that I would skip on a Switch. I mean, I don't know. Some of these games I'd be like, okay, I can definitely. How do you see how long a game is? Somebody played this motherfucker for 75 hours. How the fuck? There's niggas that literally got 75 hours in this game. And I know it's gonna be like Vampire. And I enjoyed the hell out of Vampire back in the day. I wish Don't Nod made Vampire too. But if they don't make Vampire 2 and they played this motherfucker for 142 hours, bro. What the fuck? I might have to get it. Cause this is one of those games I like. Focus Home and Don't Nod is one of those companies, one of those studios that I look at. I'm like, I would trust you with my money, just like Spiders, bro. Spiders is a company I would trust with my money. I mean, kind of with Greefall, but I don't know because Spiders made them up, them motherfucking Marriott, that puppet game. It's kind of a Souls like, and that shit was scuffed. That shit was scuffed. So I don't know. Spider, they've definitely garnered my attention though. I've played quite a bit of their other games. Their RPGs are pretty good. Technomancer was all right. Um, Greedfall was really good. Bound by Flame was amazing, but that's like an old ass Spiders game. But I mean, when Greedfall 2 comes out, you said you play Recore? Yeah, I play Recore. Like Xbox is like exclusive game Recore. Yeah, that was like one of the first like little indie games I got into like from Xbox. You said it's underrated. It's one of those like I understand why a lot of people don't like Recore is because it can get kind of stagnant in certain sections. Like you'll be walking through the game and you like solving the puzzles and shit like that. The game can kind of stagnate a little bit. Like the in between the scenes of like actual gameplay and storytelling to when you're just going through the motions and you're just fighting random core like bots and stuff. It can get kind of stale. You said they finally dropped the definitive edition. Like why would they drop a definitive edition though? I don't think it deserved that much. Like they could have like it was a good game. I don't think it deserved to get a definitive edition though. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You said check it out. I mean, I got it on Xbox. They better have gave me a free upgrade because I got that. That was like one of the launch titles for Xbox One. When the fuck does Greedfall 2 come out? Because they announced that shit, but like we didn't get no more news, bro. Steel Rising was kind of scuffed, but you know, Big Noke from Laza P, phenomenal game. Laza P did well. It deserved all the praise it got. Can't wait for the second one or the DLC. I don't know which one it is. You said it definitely needed the enhancement. I mean, Recore didn't look like a bad game. It didn't look bad. It was I mean, it was just sandy though. So hold on. I'm on Xbox right now, real quick. Recore. Let me search up Recore. You said it runs better now. Like they just enhance it to what 60 frames or something? because I think it always ran pretty good. I mean, it was a 30 frames game. It came out a long time ago. There's a free trial for it. What the hell? They got a demo. Yeah, this shit from 2016. I mean, I don't mind it being older. FPS boosted. Yeah, when did the definitive edition come out? Because Recore is one of those games. You say it was missing one of the robot buddies? What? Because it had the dog. It had like the big like gorilla one. It had the small like pod one. Was it actually missing one? See, now I need to go back and check out fucking Record. Because I don't remember. It was so long ago. Like Xbox One was a different breed of game. The Xbox One was a different console, bro. So like it kind of blurs because back then when we had like Rise Son of Rome, we had Record, we had Sunset Overdrive. What else did we have? Because those are all launch titles for Xbox One. Or like the beginning era. That's when everybody was leaving Xbox anyway. Like nobody's really fucking with Xbox. So I kind of high key don't remember what the hell was going on. Not completely anyway. Cause I remember playing those games. Gears 4. Then we got what is it called? Quantum Break. Those games were so good, bro. People just wasn't on Xbox when they came out. But yeah, I kind of don't remember if it was missing one or not. Cause I thought it only had four of them. The dog, the big one, the pod one. You said Prey was fire too. Like the Bethesda remake of Prey or like old Prey from like 360. Cause I don't think I made like the new like survival horror Prey. I don't even think I played the original Prey. I think I might have played the original Prey. Should I try to play Prey? I should download it. I should download it at least try it out. You said it's also enhanced. All the Xbox games should definitely be enhanced. There's no way they shouldn't. But there's some games that I be looking for that I want to be enhanced by like third party developers and they don't get it. And I'm like, yeah, it's on Game Pass. I might have to download this shit. I might have to know. I might have to try it at least once. Cause I've seen clips of Prey, how they got like the little metamorphin little sludge, and it like turned into like random shit like cups and chairs, and you it's kind of like playing prop hunt, but with the AI, and it looks kind of cool, but it also looks like it's scary as hell. So I might have to give it a try. I might have to give it a try. I'm actually gonna go download it. I'm gonna go download it. What time is it? I might make some content on that game just to see how it goes. So yeah, I'm about to end Gaming News Weekly right here. So thank you all for coming out. Cool Breeze, Conspiracy, Mo, even though he was late, it's been a good one. We had plenty to talk about. Everybody's getting fired though. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy, but we might get some new studios out of it. Trial Alone in the Dark's demo. Oh, I played that. Well, no, I played the what was the prequel called? Like before I go, they had a prequel demo that came out. Alone in the Dark did. Where you walk around. There was like a little ghost girl in it. Oh crap! Hold on, I played that. Did I not make a video on it? I thought I made a YouTube video on that. Ah, I think that was one of those videos. Cause remember back then, I lost like four of about five videos because all my content got corrupted for some reason. So I couldn't upload those. I played that demo. That shit was really good. Alone in the Dark, and it has like old dude from from Stranger Things in it, like the cop. He's in it. He's one of the actors in it, and it's I forget what the lady was. But yeah, I played that. That was actually pretty cool. I forget what the hell the demo was called though. It was the prologue demo because that shit was cool. THQ Nordic. But yeah, I'm about the end game news weekly. So thank y'all for coming out. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe. I do need. I see those Bethesda games. I'm gonna go download those. The next couple of days is probably gonna be content on those because those are two Bethesda games that I know I could have played and I just didn't. Rage One was just so fucking good though. I think I have Rage One's discs around here somewhere because that came with like 3 discs. It was 2 discs for the game, and then the DLC disc. But yeah, thank y'all for coming out. Make sure to like button, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.